of our heritage and traditions. We will do whatever is right in our national interest. Bharat can never permit others to have a veto on its choices. Management, teachers and students of SIES institutions, friends, Namaskar. And let me begin by thanking the South Indian Education Society, SIES, for this exceptional honor. It is special because the award being given by one of the oldest educational societies of our country. But even more so, since it is named after a great spiritual figure of our times, Mahaswami Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati. We all know that Mahaperiyar led our spiritual awakening at a critical juncture of our contemporary history. Egalitarian in his outlook and inclusive in his precepts, the sage of Kanchipuram was the very epitome of leadership in spiritual and public life. Friends, the profound influence of the Mahaswami is felt even today by all of us on so many issues. What perhaps resonates most strongly is the manner in which he espoused our culture, traditions and heritage. Let us not forget that he was one of the earliest to adopt Khadi in support of Mahatma Gandhi's call for Swadeshi. Throughout his life, he remained deeply focused on the interests of the nation and societal well-being. At the same time, he had a strong international outlook. His memorable composition of Maitrim Bhajata, later sung at the United Nations by Bharat Ratna M.S. Subbulakshmi, spoke of his belief in universal brotherhood and compassion. He interacted with thinkers and scholars from different parts of the world and all walks of life. He was revered for his wisdom and conviction, as well as for his extreme simplicity, austerity, and true renunciation. So, when I received Dr. Shankar's letter conveying the decision of the awards committee, I felt it was loaded with blessings and benediction of Mahaswami. Friends, whenever we contemplate the life and message of someone like Mahaperiyar, it is natural to reflect on the lessons that it may hold for us. Our nation and society are poised today at a crucial juncture. On the one hand, the last decade has demonstrated that we have the capabilities, the confidence, and most importantly, the commitment to advance development across broad fronts. We have shown that age-old problems of poverty, of discrimination, of lack of opportunity, all of them can indeed be addressed. On the global stage, we have established ourselves as an independent power, but one committed to global good, especially the well-being of the global South. At the same time, however, the constraints and limitations that have long been our bane still remain in play. There are viewpoints and ideologies which are more pessimistic, divisive, and even denigrating of ourselves. As a democratic polity and a pluralistic society, today as to the course the nation will take in the coming times. It is discussed in intellectual circles and argued in the political arena. At the end of the day, both the direction and destination would depend on our identity as a people, our convictions as a society, and our vision as a nation. It is in that regard that the thoughts and teachings of Mahaperiyar are so instructive. Friends, if there is a single concept that is the fulcrum of this process, it is the belief in Bharat. What that signifies is a determination to capture the full value of our past civilization rather than allow ourselves to be defined by others. For too long, we were schooled to visualize modernity and progress as a rejection of our heritage and traditions. Perhaps this came from affinity for imported models, or perhaps it was a discomfort with our own practices. But now, as the deepening of democracy has thrown up more authentic voices in every domain, we are rediscovering ourselves. And in that process, we are also finding again our own persona. It is the deep inherent unity of our existence that has allowed diversity to flower in our land. This should never be misportrayed as a negotiation between parts that are actually so integral. Nor can our great nation be projected as an idea. On the contrary, it is a timeless reality and an enduring feature in a changing world. Friends, a direct consequence of this development is greater assertion of our sense of independence. This does not just mean taking a stance different where required from the dominant thinking of the day. It is expressed even more in the ability to analyze problems and find solutions for ourselves. Examples of this mindset are very diverse because they span so many domains and address new situations every day. In foreign policy, for example, it could be advocacy of diplomacy and dialogue during a conflict when much of the world has actually turned its back on it. Equally, it may mean uncompromising opposition to terrorism and hostage-taking when others, for political convenience, may choose to gloss over it. Or for that matter, stand up for the African Union in the G20 or for the Global South during the COVID pandemic. Independence should also never be confused for neutrality. We will do whatever is right in our national interest and for global good without being intimidated to conform. In the final analysis, Bharat can never permit others to have a veto on its choices. Friends, we are an exceptional nation, and we are exceptional because we are a civilizational state. Such a country will only exercise influence when it fully leverages its cultural strengths in the global arena. To do that, it is essential that we ourselves, and I refer here especially to the younger generation, we ourselves are fully aware of the value and significance of our heritage. This can be articulated at various levels, but most important, should have an impact at the societal one. When we laud the Vishwakarmas, when we promote one district, one product, when we look at the revival of Sri Anna or popularize the practice of Ayurveda, there is a larger import to these endeavors. In the last decade, the most successful cultural initiative globally has been the International Day of Yoga. When Bharat is etched more deeply in global consciousness, its repercussions are truly profound. Indeed, in a world that is grappling with unhealthy habits, stressed lifestyles, or recurring climate events, there is much learning to be gained from our heritage. But the world will only know when we ourselves take pride in it. In an age of globalization, technology and tradition must march together in lockstep. Bharat will inevitably progress, but it must do so without losing its Bharatiyata. Only then can we truly emerge as a leading power in a multipolar world. As we work towards that objective, Mahaswami will always remain as an inspiration. I conclude by paying my deep respects as I receive this honor named after him. Thank you for your attention.